and good morning. Welcome to the show. My name is Robin, also known as Sunnyside Up Gal on all platforms, except for every other platform but Instagram and YouTube.
The most important TV fashion show in any German-speaking country, apart from Germany.
Let's just start talking trash. First of all, I do want to say thank you to new followers and for people who actually enjoy this. I appreciate it. I am bored and this is giving me a hobby that isn't drugs, so that's cool. Or we're still fixing audio and eventually I will get a better camera, but I actually don't really care to get another camera right now. I really don't mind the webcam. I kind of like that whole like Y2K vibe, I guess. But today's topic, I have so many things saved, you guys. I have a lot of topics that I want to go over eventually. I'm also coming up with like a schedule of how often I want to do these because they actually don't take that long as opposed to like when I edited my other videos. My videos where I have to do a lot of research and there's not a lot of off the cuff conversation like how a commentary video would go. Those videos take forever. Like sometimes they take like 2 weeks for me to edit because I don't have a lot of time and I work a full-time job and I'm a beautiful baby wife and I also am a dog mom. Like I just have things to do. But they take a lot of time because I also like to do like edits and stuff like that. Like I do edits on these too, like funny gifts and all that jazz. But if you haven't watched any of my other videos, I do highly recommend them because I worked really hard on them and I think the edits are good. But I'm also sucking on my own pee when I say that. But they are not necessarily anti-fat activism. They're weight loss related. So if you're not interested in what I'm doing for weight loss, then don't watch them. If you are interested, then go watch them because I have lost like 40 pounds since what year? The pandemic, 2022. I got back up to, well, I can get into it in another episode, but anyway, I've lost like 40 pounds and maintained it. And I've maintained that for like 2 years. And I'm finally like busting through the plateau. And hopefully by the end of this year or the beginning of next year, I will be at my final goal weight, which is 160 pounds. And I'm currently at like 180 right now. But anyway, you're not here for that. So today's topic, we are going to talk about the Fab Fatties. If you have not heard about them, that's weird to me because I feel like every once in a while I get oh sorry, you can see my designer Dooney and Burke bag that I got for Christmas last year. I'll see a video or like a reel of like the main host. Well, I don't know if she is the main host, but one of the gals from that podcast, and she says a lot of like outlandish stuff that I think is misinformation. And I used to comment on her stuff, and she and I would like she's argued with me before on here. I don't have any screenshots or anything like that. Mostly it's me saying stuff like, "Oh, food addiction is real" or something like that. I stopped commenting because I didn't want her to block me because this was like a year and a half ago. I had manifested that I was like, "No, I want to do commentary eventually, and I want to do commentary on her on this podcast and on this specific lady," but I was too afraid to do commentary. And actually, Angelica Unfiltered was giving me courage to like go for it. So thank you, Angelica, if you are watching. You is a baby girl. Anyway, let's talk about Fab Fatties. The Fab Fatties. Where are y'all? Where are you, baby girls? Okay, they don't have a lot of followers, which I'm shook. Now I need to see it. I'm shook. Do they not get a lot of views on their podcast, on their reels? They get a lot of views, but they get a lot of views. They must be famous on TikTok, and they just don't have a lot of views, or sorry, they don't have a lot of followers on Instagram. But basically, it is a podcast of three best friends in a room.
They might kiss.
And they talk about being fat. I think I need new batteries for this bad bitch. I do. So if you didn't know this, sorry, I know I'm getting off task, but if you drop a battery and it bounces, it means it's empty. And if it doesn't bounce, that means it's full. I learned that from somebody that I used to be their manager, and she was like, "I learned this in jail." I was like, "Oh, that is actually really good knowledge to have." So, yeah, if you drop a battery like on a hard surface and it bounces, you need a new battery. So I'm gonna go replace the battery for this. I love the things that people learn in jail. It's very interesting. And I mean that sincerely. Like I also like I don't know if you guys have ever watched those videos where people make like jail spreads. Very interesting. All right, so let's get back to them. So anyway, they talk about all the struggles that they have with fat phobia, like what they've experienced at doctors, how people treat people in a fatter body, which I actually do agree. People will treat you differently when you live in a bigger body. But let's take a look at some of their videos and start judging. Okay, I'm gonna go down to the bottom. So I've saved, so this is the one that I saved originally, and I just wanted to show you. This is the gal that I think is just like a problem.
You're a problem. You're a real.
Okay, that was annoying. All right, so my mouse is now working hopefully, but let me just reiterate. So these are gals that have a podcast where they talk about their struggles with being in larger bodies, the fat phobia that they've experienced in real life, and also the like medical fat phobia as well, and just how people will treat you differently in a fat body. They also, in my opinion, spew a lot of misinformation, like for example, it diets don't work and that you can eat whatever you want, be fine. And that some people just exist in fat bodies, which I actually do agree. Like, I obviously think that there are different body types and different not everybody's going to be the same size, What a boring world that would be, right? Like I do believe that there are people that just have like my goal weight right now is 160. When I'm 160, I personally don't believe that I could ever be. I'm 5'4" and my ideal body weight is 130. According to the BMI, I don't think that I would ever. The last time that I was even close to that, I was 145 pounds and I was a skeleton with a giant head. So I just don't think that I think there are different types, body types and builds like endomorph, ectomorph, and all that jazz are different than like you are morbidly obese because you eat a lot. So sorry about that. Anyway, so this gal in the center right there, let me move this. Hold on. This video, I don't know why I'm doing that, is the reason, or is one of the reasons why I was like, oh yeah, I need to do a video on these girls because I wanted to talk mostly about this chick. Me not like her very well. So let's watch.
I'm going to spiral.
Let's go.
And I'm going to bring you along with me.
We love that.
So as
Buckle
I'm
in.
Let her off the leash.
She's buckled up. So as I'm sitting at my computer doing research.
See, she's look at that. Look at her neck. Where is it? That's mean. But she's just she comes off as like kind of a
For this episode and pulling up statistics, I find something that the CDC released in 2009. I'm scared.
Okay, so she has a problem with the CDC releasing a study from 2009 or something like that, or an article from 2009. However, a lot of people in the fat activism realm still believe logic from like the 70s, like studies from like before 2009. So the fact that, oh my God, this is from 2009 is her argument just seems odd to me.
CDC released a, quote, obesity cost calculator.
Oh,
I'm sorry, what?
I know where this is going.
Wait.
Insurance premiums for
Her
companies.
neck looks
money,
To
money, money.
tally the
fake.
financial losses linked to their overweight employees. So, I'm not even there yet.
She bothers me. I don't know. Something about her just bothers the crap out of me.
I'm not even there yet. I'm going to spiral more. So
She has no neck. And we're gonna watch some of her videos too. I think she did an overcorrection. She claims that she has one of those and is in recovery, but I feel it's like, ma'am, this is an overcorrection.
it's called Lean Works.
Lean works.
Lean Works, and it stands for leading employees to activity and nutrition. The website provides various resources to employers, including an obesity.
I don't think there's anything wrong with your employer caring about you. We often are employed by people who just think that we're a number. So if I had an employer that was like, "Hey, everybody, like you can get an incentive for like being healthy," I don't think that's a bad thing, you know? I know obviously like the corporate, person in my brain, like I know how corporations work and I know how like business works sometimes and I know that they're probably doing this so that their insurance is cheaper. Like they probably don't have to pay as much premium if like their employees are healthier. Like obviously they have a hidden reason as to why they would want their employees to like be healthy, but also at the same time like I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think corporations are a bad thing and I think anyway, that's a different podcast or that's a different episode. But anyway, I don't think it's a bad thing to encourage employees to live in a healthier body. Oh, sorry. But anyway, she was just talking dumb stuff. Let's do more of the podcast and then I will show you her. What is her name? Stupid. I was gonna say her name is Sabrina Carpenter. Her name is Fatal Balt, Alyssa Theobald or Theobald. But I want to watch more of the podcast first because they do some dumb stuff. All right.
It really is so powerful. And I think so much of the fat experience is intertwined in diet culture and the messaging to shrink yourself and take up less space. And I also didn't know I was allowed to not diet. Like, I think that's like what the message is. Like, if you're fat, you just
When did you diet?
need to be on a diet so you're not fat.
I have a hard time with the word diet. Like I obviously tell people I'm on the keto diet, but like I've been on the keto diet for like 4 years. It's more like a lifestyle. I could just say I'm on the keto lifestyle, but
Existing as fat was it.
I think that diet has become like such a trigger word for people and that you forget that there are more meanings to like singular words. So like diet could mean like a diet, like I'm on a diet, I'm trying to lose some weight, but also it's like a way of eating, but less words than saying a way of eating.
It never was an option.
Like sometimes a lot of the people that I have a problem with, like a lot of the fat activists or mainly fat activists, they often use the word nuance, and I don't know if she's gonna say it here, but like that there are gray areas in the way that people should eat. But then they are very black and white thinking when it comes to eating because like any addict, they're gonna do whatever it takes to prevent losing their fix, like losing the thing that they love. And in her case, I'm assuming it's food. So she's
So
a
I
problem.
just think anything that continues to do that work and spread that message is just so badass. It really is.
Okay, so they do these things. So these things right here, they do on the podcast, they like, okay, prompt me. And then they have these like fake like prompts where you're eating and something that somebody would say to you or something that somebody has said to you. And in my opinion, it seems like these never happened. Or if they did, it was probably from like your old aunt, which we all know is just rude to begin with. So let's watch.
Prompt me. Oh, are you going
Prompt me.
back for second plate already? Are you watching me eat? Why are you so obsessed with me?
So they're giving you ammo to shoot back when people comment on like you eating or the way that you're eating or if you've gained weight. And I just don't think that anybody in the right I don't think anybody in 2025 is going, are you going back for a second plate? Unless it's literally your mom. And we've all had moms, not my mom, because my mom loves me, but we've all known of people who have had parents or family members that are like, hey, let's stop or something like that. Oh, like Anna. What's her? No, not Anna. What's her name? Gore World. Amberlyn Reed. I don't want to, I don't know if I'll ever do videos on her just because I'm not like as deeply educated on Amberlyn Reed's situation. I just like to watch other commentary on her, but I did watch the videos that people were posting about her Aunt Tammy talking about her spaghetti bowl, like when she was getting a bunch of spaghetti from the fridge, and then her dad was like, "Okay, that's enough spaghetti," but she kept filling her plate. Like, I kind of felt bad for her when she said that, and you can watch like when her Aunt Tammy was yelling at Amberlyn, and you can tell that Amber's face, like on the outside, she looked like she was okay, but you can tell that something was dropping inside of her. Like she was having Vietnam War flashbacks from that.
I love
I
that
love that
one.
one.
So
Yeah.
obsessed with
I love that
the
one. I need a new prompt.
Okay.
Okay. We're walking into the holiday. Oh, Allie, it looks like you've gained some weight.
Nobody ever would say that. I don't think that even your family member would say that. If you hadn't seen your family in 3 years and you showed up 40 pounds heavier, your family would not I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't. I don't think your family would be like, "Oh my god, Allie, you've gained weight," because obviously you know. In my I don't think anybody's doing this, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, looks like you gained some fucking audacity.
I think this podcast is just them smelling each other's farts.
I think there's so many different ways that you can be considered a bad fatty, but it really does boil down to what you said, Eliza. Like it's rejecting the stereotypes and not performing, right? It's going out with your diet obsessed real estate team
What are we talking about?
and you order a burger. And it's like, I hope you guys enjoy your salads. This is what I really wanted. And I
Oh, being a good fatty. Okay, if loving yourselves as we are is wrong, we don't want to be right. While we don't subscribe to the good fatty or bad fatty narratives, we are absolutely dreaming up some merch. A salad doesn't make you morally superior, and a burger doesn't make you devoid of social graces. It's just food, babes. It's not that serious.
fucking love it. You know, it's
It is serious. Food is like, I think food is medicine, and eating right is preventative medicine. But, I don't know if they have diabetes, but I could look at them and make assumptions, I guess, and I can tell maybe some of them probably have knee problems.
it's rejecting when people say to you, like, oh my God, I can't believe you're gonna eat that? You're gonna get that? Like, like, oh, I wish I could have that. No, you can. You can.
No, you can't if you have diabetes like me. I don't have diabetes. I have a fear of getting diabetes because I've had prediabetes. I still have prediabetes, but you can't. Like sometimes you just can't. At least not right now. Not today. You can't.
It's like, oh, well, I'm being bad. No, you're just
I guess no, you're I guess she's right. Like you're not being bad if you do have a cake or if you do have rice in my case. Rice is off limits forever, but I do have rice every once in a while. I end up paying for it, but there's no good and bad. It's just, are you gonna feel okay after?
Yeah, it makes me think immediately people that say glorifying obesity, right? And the glorifying obesity, literally, whenever that is used, it is anytime you are laughing, showing connections with friends and family or loved ones or
being
a partner,
happy
being
in
happy,
a fat body.
being happy in a
No, I've never believed that being happy in a fat body is glorifying obesity. What I see as glorifying obesity is like, and they've all done it, especially that fatal fatty or whatever. They glorifying obesity to me is like anybody deserves to be happy, right? Anybody deserves to have joy, have a partner. But like glorifying obesity is like showing up in your fat body and then being like, I'm in a fat body, I don't have to change. This is totally fine. If you're getting fat, you don't have to change. Being fat is completely healthy. There's no such thing as, fat doesn't make you, like, just making up lies. Like fat doesn't like having excess body fat is totally fine and doesn't cause disease. First of all, excess body fat on the body is hormonally active, and the more fat that you carry, the more problems you will have. It's not good, and it is unhealthy. And so when people like her fats, they say stuff like that, it bugs me.
Fat body without being like, I had.
It's not that it's not that you're happy in a fat body that pisses people off. It's that you're spreading lies.
Health is socially in society talked about in a specific way. It has a specific look. You have to do specific actions, and it needs to look like health to other people, which is where the performatory aspect comes in, right?
Yeah.
Let me read this. Okay, Monday morning mic drop. God, I feel like they're just fart smellers. Like they just smell their own farts. They're so smug. You don't owe anyone health, whatever that means to you. We have people constantly trying to tell us why our bodies are wrong and why we need to fit their version of healthy. We'll argue all day long that we are 10 times healthier now than we no longer believe we're better off dead than fat. Just some thoughts to chew on. Don't skip breakfast today, babes. First of all, if you don't want to have breakfast, don't have breakfast. I don't have breakfast. I'm not dead.
You need to look like you are working to achieve health.
Yeah.
I think it's so important to reiterate that it does not matter the size of your body. You can be unhealthy at any size.
Yes.
And
And you can be unhealthy at this size, and you most definitely are.
that I feel like people won't argue with as much as you can be healthy at any size. Health is
That is not a mic drop. I used to weigh 117 and I was unhealthy. Like, yeah, clearly you can be healthy. Sorry, clearly you can be unhealthy at any size. When they say health at any size, this I I don't believe it. I vehemently deny it, actually, because I don't think because first of all, with all of the garbage that is put into our food supply, like all of the chemicals and all of the bad seed oils and all the jazz that is in our food supply, the sedentary lifestyles that we lead now, I don't think anybody's healthy these days. I really, really don't. I don't. I think everybody has a problem. Even like the most healthy, fittest influencer, there is something wrong with them. I don't think health at every size is a real thing, and I think everybody has a problem, be it mentally or they have some kind of hidden, invisible disease that we don't see and that they don't tell us, you know? So, yeah, I don't think anybody in 2025 is ever going to be healthy. I think we've lost that because big food, big corporation, big pharma has too many hands and too many pockets and are killing people.
socially.
I really don't like her. Your body is not the problem. Diet culture. Your body is not the problem. Diet culture is, fat phobia is, sizeism, ableism, racism, and every system that teaches our worth lives in a smaller size. That's the problem. She's comparing fat bodies to racism, and I absolutely hate that because you can't change the color of your skin, but you can absolutely, literally, mamacita, if you stopped drinking sugar, I'm sure that you would lose a little bit of something. Just change. It's baby steps, you guys. Ch- Switch to Coke Zero and switch to sugar-free sweetener in your coffee. That's a huge change. People don't realize that. You start your day off with a huge blast of sugar, your insulin levels rise. They don't fall all day because by the time they do fall, you're already having lunch. Um, that's why you're fat. If you can't already tell, I am like a huge weight loss is hormonal baddie, and I'm not a big fan of counting calories. I really don't care about calories. I live and breathe high fat, and it works for me. I don't count calories. Just uh, prick my finger a lot to make sure that my blood sugar is lower than a certain number that I have set for myself. to ensure that my insulin levels are low because high insulin equals, fat storage. Insulin is a fat storing hormone. It is also a muscle building hormone, but it if you become insulin resistant, your body doesn't use the sugar that you eat, and insulin, instead of pushing sugar into the cells for energy, it will just store the sugar as fat. So I avoid it at all costs because mama don't like diabetes.
You guys, this has been something.
You know what?
And this has been
Rebecca
her
needs
50th
to
episode.
Rebecca needs to go Herkle Durkle in bed.
Rebecca needs
Herkle Durkle. 50 episodes deep. We're somehow still here and still oversharing. This week's episode is a catch-all combo featuring sleep apnea, pill bottles, mental health spirals, and the tech-powered alarm routine that might actually be working for Allie. It's still weird, or it's weird. It's personal. It's kind of a mess. I think their whole podcast is kind of a mess. Like I've literally have tried watching it, and because they are so close to each other, so if you don't have good if you don't have good technology, my husband and I tried to do a podcast years ago. But if you're in like close proximity to people, which they're like sitting in a circle, I believe. And you talk loud, which they do. Like we've seen all of their big ass mouths. You talk loud, and then your mic is picking up your neighbor's mic. It's annoying as hell. Second of all, they talk over each other all the time. I personally am like a believer that podcasts should only be two people, and if you have multiple people, like you need a magic conch to like pass around. Like, do not talk unless you have the conch in your hand, because it's maybe I just get overstimulated by too many people talking, but I don't know, it just sounds like a mess to me.
go Herkle Durkle. This
I
is
don't know what Herkle
our
Durkle
50th
is.
episode. It's been something. Lucky's getting into the cookies, so we gotta go. We love you. We're fat. We're fat.
I will not lie, on her page, she has worn this shirt multiple times, and I just love chartreuse, and I think it looks really good on her. So
We're
she has cute style. I will show. She does have cute style. I'm not gonna lie.
See you next time. Bye.
We're fat, we're fab, and we're friends. Okay.
okay, but also like, what if it is a little bit because we're fat?
Does that make us terrible people?
No, I'm like, does that mean we don't deserve value or physical therapy?
Rebecca asked the question we've all been terrified to say out loud. What if it is because we're fat? And guess what? If it is, that's not a reflection of our worth. It's a damn indictment of the system's bias and the people who think fat bodies deserve less. We don't, we never did, and we're done pretending otherwise.
Or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. We're all gonna have some body thing. My mom's body hurt because she's old. Sorry, Mom. She's old and she has arthritis.
Oh, Billy's knees hurt
How
because
dare
of all
you.
of the crawling they do, and they're
This is another argument that I absolutely hate, is that people say that because you're old, like you're going to gain weight as you get older. That's half true. I don't believe that gaining weight is just a thing that happens to people. Even if your grandma was fat your entire life, it just means that as you get older, it's harder for you to lose weight. I don't think that obesity is just a thing that happens to old people, because we've also seen old people that turn into like raisins when they get old. Like my Lola in the Philippines, she was kind of big for a little bit, and then as she got like into her 70s and 80s, she like shrunk. So what do you mean? Um, yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that for 1 second.
Here, as we age, as we do whatever, our bodies are always gonna do something. And guess what? We have to acclimate to that.
No, you can prevent it. If you're like, damn, my elbow hurts, guess what you got to do? You got to make sure you work that elbow and stretch it out every day. You got to think, oh, maybe this is inflammation. Like sometimes when I eat off plan, I will get like joint pain in my hands. I have Hashimoto's, so one of the symptoms of Hashimoto's is like inflammation, and then I can feel it in my joints. And like today, I kind of have. Actually, I've had like dry skin all weekend, like terribly dry skin, and I think it's just because I haven't been eating as much fat this weekend. I have a little bit of joint pain, and I believe it's because I had a protein brownie yesterday that had whey in it, and I recently discovered that I have a histamine reaction to like dairy products. I don't do dairy anymore. So when I have like whey or casein, which is like a huge protein supplement that protein bars use, I get sore joints, and I don't have any. I use Blue Emu on my sore joints. If you guys are like wanting tips and tricks, but Blue Emu is like emu oil with other lotions and stuff like that. But the emu oil does something with like vitamin E and like brings joint relief to your hands. But I have my good emu oil at work because I bought it on my lunch break because I couldn't even type anymore. My fingers were so sore.
That is, again, something every single body is going to experience. There's been a history of people saying things about limitations they were starting to experience, and fat activists being like, okay, watch how you talk about it. Yeah. And people getting upset about it. The idea
What? Watch how you talk about it?
that anyone who faces any physical issue should be punished for it, should be thought less than for it, should be...
Oh, okay. So context. I'm sure she's talking about how fat people with mobility issues are judged because they did it to themselves. And partially, I don't think there's. I mean, who are we to judge? You know, we can't really. We shouldn't be judging. I shouldn't even be doing this right now, but I do be liking it. But basically, like you shouldn't be judging a fat person for their mobility issues because they're just like anybody else. Like they're just sick, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's really where she's going. In my head, that's where she's going. But also, I do think that if you've eaten yourself to disability, that's a you problem. Do you need to get help? Absolutely. I think that you should get like the mobility tools that you need to help you move more. But also, I do think that you should like eat less. Sorry.
I think that initial reactions and fully fledged opinions are two very...
Oh, okay. This week on the Fab Fatties, we were unpacking the viral conversation between Remy Bader and Khloe Kardashian and the complicated layers behind it, from media trained accountability to the emotional toll of being visible in a fat body. This is about more than one moment. It's about the pressure to be palatable, the weaponization of public opinion, and the ways fat folks are asked to stay silent, even while being hyper visible. We got vulnerable, we got real. Okay.
Can sometimes be two very different things, right? Especially when we're talking about such a nuanced subject, which this will all...
She used nuance again. You guys, seriously, I feel like last year, like people found out what the word nuance meant and they were just like throwing it everywhere. And it's not like I think that she's using it wrong. It's just like, it's like when you hear a new word and you just like want to use it all the time. I don't know. It's just annoying.
Right. Starting out today.
There was another word that came out that people were just using all the time too. Oh, aesthetic. For some reason, for like 2 years ago, people found out what the word aesthetic meant and they were like, oh my God, that is so aesthetic. Like, that's not how you use that word. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong and I'm sorry. But like, I don't know. You know what? I don't care.
With Remy Bader and Lizzo, we are going to do the best that we can, right? We're going to do the best that we can.
So they're upset that Remy Bader and Lizzo lost weight, which I absolutely hate. Like, it's seriously body positivity unless you're trying to lose weight, or body positive unless you do lose weight. And I think that that's wrong. Like, you're not allowed to talk about bodies unless somebody's trying to get skinny. Rude.
And to not talk about their bodies. We understand that it is very difficult to get that language out of your brain, out of your vernacular, all of those things. We're all humans and we've all been affected by an anti-fat world. And Remy and Lizzo deserve as much respect.
She is so nice. I'm going to show you the next video with the other chick. She seems very nice.
As we give each other. And we are allowed to have feelings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. God. She's fucking frog.
Yes.
She reminds me of a frog.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what we're talking about.
If you're a successful content creator.
See, so the intro,
I think that
nice intro. I think we should be, we should see the nuance in bodies and blah blah blah. Let's, they're allowed to do this, yada yada yada. Let's keep our language a certain way, blah blah blah. We're gonna try not to talk about Lizzo and Remy's bodies, and then you go to Frog Lady.
If you're a successful content creator, you know who your audience is.
Mm-hmm.
You know who you're creating for. You know what type of content you're creating. I think it is a...
So she's talking about Remy, and Remy started with trying on, like, doing fashion and trying on specific clothing for her body type. She's an overweight gal. It's showing what it looks like so that people could like buy the product or whatever. She's getting a bag, okay, on TikTok. And then she went on to Khloe Kardashian's podcast. I think it was called Revenge Body. I'm not 100% sure. That could have been the show that she had, but she went on Khloe's podcast and had said something like, I didn't ask to be a fat influencer or something like that. I didn't ask to do this, but she was also doing it. I kind of get what the frog lady's talking about.
Little hypocritical to then turn around.
So she's saying like she's basically saying it's rude that you were entertaining fats and then you turned around and purposely lost weight. Bitch, is my body. Just because I wanted to show fats that you could wear a specific article of clothing, and now I'm like trying to get healthy and trying to lose weight. My body belongs to you because I showed my body fat on the internet. Now it belongs to fat people.
And be like, well, I never said that. Girl, come on. You are funny. You are creative. You are making this content and engaging with an audience. And you're going to say, oh, I never said that. I was never a body positive influencer. Come on.
You can be a body positive influencer and lose weight. I think actually maybe we should start that. I think like if you're a body positive influencer and you lose weight, you're like, I want to show the world that you can do this, that it's okay to lose weight. And I also think that there are like if we're going to take the original true meaning of body positivity, I see a lot of people who have lost weight and they have a lot of loose skin and they still show up in this loose skin body and they show like, hey, this is normal and I'm a lot healthier than I am. That is body positivity to me. Not this. Not frog bodies.
When you put stuff out online and you engage in a community, you have responsibility. Period. Done. End of story. If you're a successful content creator, you know who your audience is. Mm-hmm. You know who you're creating for. You know what type of content you're creating.
You can tell that her her friends, like her other friend was like, even though at the beginning she was like, we're not going to do this. You can tell that they probably don't like to argue with her because she's a firecracker. I wonder what her sign is. My guess is I don't know. I guess chat in your comments. What do you think Alyssa's sign is? I kind of think maybe I don't know. We'll look at her page after this.
Is a little hypocritical to then turn around and be like, well, I never said that. Girl, come on.
Oh, we already watched this. Okay. Let's look at her page. Okay, so Fatal Balt, she's got 3,000 followers on Instagram. Fat, funny, in recovery, and healing hard. Diet culture dropout. Life in this fat body. ED recovery, fat joy, plus size style. Podcast, the Fat Fatties. The Fab Fatties. The Fat Fabbies. The Fat Flabbies.
Not my problem. That's just not my problem.
It might not be your problem, but you are a problem. Okay. Scroll down, then we'll just move up. She is such a firecracker. And I do think that she does dress really cute. Oh, let me see if she has that. Here. See, I love that color on her. I think it's her color. When a brand only goes up to a size XL but posts all bodies are welcome, that has never happened. I've never seen anybody use all bodies are welcome and only go to XL. Now, maybe they only go to 3XL, which in America is like not big enough because we're fucking fat, but things that never happened. She has crazy eyes. All right, based off of this, guys, tell me in the comments, what is her sign? I have a guess. Oh my god.
That was
When I tell people I have an eating disorder and they assume I overeat, I don't assume. I know. I know you overeat, and I'm so sorry to say that. I'm not sorry also, like, that you wouldn't get this way if you didn't overeat. And I know that because I did have a binge eating disorder. I hate to say that. I don't know. But yeah, I used to binge all the time. I think you have a problem. Okay, just a reminder, eating disorders don't have a look. They exist in all body types, ages, genders, and races. Assuming somebody's ED is about overeating just because they're in a bigger body, that's not concern, that's bias, and it's harmful. Let's do better. Whatever.
I have a photo shoot this weekend and I have no idea what I'm going to wear, so help me decide.
17 weeks ago.
Okay, so here's everything you need to know about the photo shoot. CLT Plus, group of plus size women.
Has she lost weight? How dare she? Okay, here's a recent one. Recovery reminder, food gets to be fun. Billy and I ate our way through Charlotte's Panda Festival, and it felt so good to let food be part of the adventure instead of the stress. I actually do agree with that. Like, I am a big proponent of, hey, if you're on vacation, do whatever the fuck you want, because I do be doing that and I love vacations. However, the thing is that you need to be responsible, and that doesn't mean that you can go on vacation every week, right? Save your money, like I went on vacation for Labor Day weekend and I had the best food. I ate rice, I ate bread, all the things that I have to avoid the rest, 320 days out of the year. And then next month I'm going to Ireland, and you better goddamn be sure I'm gonna eat potatoes there. I'm not gonna be a loser and go to Ireland and not eat potatoes. I didn't famine for no reason. I gotta eat it there. Okay? I have to. And I have to have beer and I have to have whiskey because I don't drink anymore. Whiskey was my alcohol of choice. I don't drink anymore for health reasons, not for, I don't drink anymore because I don't think it does me any good, especially on a weight loss journey, because when you're on a ketogenic diet, anytime that you drink alcohol, your body burns off the alcohol before it burns fat. So, like, for me, alcohol, it just doesn't make sense to be drinking it all the time. Um, but when I'm on vacation, I haven't had whiskey in like ages. Of course, I'm going to try some real Irish whiskey. That is, Irish whiskey that besides Jameson. Everybody, thinks of Jameson when they think of Irish whiskey. I actually don't really like Jameson. I like a brown whiskey, but I think it's because I'm a patriot and I love America, and I love bourbon. But yeah, no, I think good for her. You're on vacation. Eat whatever the fuck you want. But she probably does this like every day, so she looks like she does. Okay, so here's another full body picture. She's still, I don't know if she's lost weight or if it was just angles.
Dieting is the most praised form of self-harm. Anything in the name of thinness, right? Because some dumb people didn't listen when the BMI was created and ignored that it was.
Okay. Oh my God. The BMI was created 1830. BMI was created in 1830, and they were just complaining about a study that was found in 2009. Bitch, be smart.
Never meant to measure individual health, not to mention it's inherently racist. And now we've built this entire toxic narrative.
I agree. I don't think that we should be like giving our all to the BMI. Not that I agree that it's inherently racist, although when I was on TikTok, I used to spout that shit all the time. But um, it's a poor way of measuring bodies that are normal sized, but it's also a good starting point, I guess. I guess if you're like kind of off on the BMI, there are other things that you can fine tune to see. Like you can do a DEXA scan, or you can like, what's your A1C, what's your blood sugar like, yada yada yada. I agree with her there. I think the BMI personally is half bullshit.
Narrative that thinness equals health.
I don't think thinness equals health, but I do believe that fatness equals unhealth at some point. Like, I know that there are bodies that are fat for specific reasons. Like, if you've got hormonal issues, like, I get it. You don't.
And anything in the name of health, right? Even if that means overworking your body at the gym, even if that means starving yourself, and even if that means completely disconnecting from your hunger, your needs, your life. The hypocrisy is mind-blowing.
Bitch, you're doing the trend wrong. Like, yeah, let's go. Turn around. Just tell me who said that.
Like it's a cure for everything, no matter what it does to someone's actual health. Or
you ever wish you could be a fly on somebody's wall when they're filming this and you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well-being.
I think this is cute. Her wall art is cute, and now I want to do that shit.
Who said that?
Super vulnerable moment, but
she's vulnerable.
I feel like recovery sometimes is like the biggest lie.
Okay, recovery is beautiful, but it's also exhausting. Sometimes it feels like I open the door I can't close. Oh yeah, ma'am, I feel like that's called an overcorrection. Like you open the door to recovery and you just can't stop eating. If you've ever felt like healing made you question everything, your boundaries, your relationships, your sense of self, you're not alone. It's a lot, and it's okay to feel tired. Me repeating this to myself over and over again. A message for me and for you. We don't have to figure it all out today.
Because if I knew from the beginning that like I was going to question all of my boundaries and all my relationships and reassess who I am as a person and like what I want to do and how I want to live, like sometimes it just feels like a lot. Sometimes it feels like a lot, and sometimes I wish I didn't open the...
What are you getting at?
Can of worms, to say. I know I'm happy I did. I know I feel more fulfilled now,
I don't know what she's trying to say.
even with the chaos than I did before. It's just
What are you wiping? No tears.
it's just a lot. It's just a lot.
I'm so
And
confused.
I'm tired and I don't.
You're probably tired because your blood sugar's too high. Propaganda I'm not falling for anymore. 12,000 calories is enough for a grown adult. Drinking celery fixes everything. Carbs are the enemy. You can't be healthy and fat. Oh, anymore. Oh, wait. Being confident in my body is brave. The self-love only counts if it comes after self-improvement. Okay, let's break this down. 12,000 calories is enough for a grown adult. First of all, I don't think that calories matter. I don't think every calorie is built the same. Now, is 1,200 calories like if I were to look at 1,200 calories on a plate, like maybe, I have to see what it would look like first. But I don't think that 1,200 calories of fat and protein are as bad as 1,200 calories of pure carbohydrates and sugar. You know what I mean? Like 100 calories of eggs versus 100 calories of cereal. They do different things to your body. They do different things to your insulin. Um, and I don't really care if you eat 12,000 calories. I don't care if you eat 2,400 calories. Like, are you eating for your hormones? Drinking celery juice fixes everything. I think that sounds stupid. Carbs are the enemy. Yes, they are. I personally agree. Unless you're like a runner, the major macros are fat, protein, carbs. However, you cannot survive without fat and you cannot survive without protein. You can survive without carbs. There is no such thing as a necessary carbohydrate. However, there are vitamins that need to be absorbed with fat. There are, you cannot live without protein. So I think carbs are the enemy. However, eat the way you want to eat what works best for you. Um, Eating low carb works best for me, but it's not for everybody, especially if you're like exercising or which I'm not. I'm sedentary as fuck. But if you are a runner, like I can see how somebody would be like, I need carbs. Yes, because you're running. You can't be healthy and fat. Agree. Being confident in my body is brave. I think being confident anytime is brave. You don't believe that? Why? Self-love only counts if it comes after self-improvement. I don't believe that. So I agree with her. All right, carbs. They're invited to every party. Yeah, no shit.
Hey! Down. Bam. That way. Water.
I laughed so hard. Like I do think they're entertaining. She's obviously okay. Again, you guys, this chartreuse. It is her color, and I think she knows it. She has a lot of chartreuse stuff. Should I be like a color lady? One of those color ladies that like put blankets in front of people and be like, "This is your color," because I think that would be fun. But she's kind of a ham, so I'm just gonna say that I think she's an Aries. I don't know for sure. She's giving me fire sign. She's giving me fire sign. What do you guys think?
Into the thick
She's also a firecracker. I'm an Aries, by the way. So if you guys didn't know that.
of it. Hey! Into the thick of it.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Okay, so you're a rocket scientist. That don't impress me much.
Some things are better left unannounced, like your carb intake. But here's the thing, calorie counting isn't just being disciplined. For many, it fuels anxiety around food. It disconnects you from your body's natural hunger cues and turns eating into numbers game instead of nourishment. So no, we're not impressed by skipping snacks. We're clapping for actual accomplishments like where did I leave? Oh, like breaking free from food rules and enjoying meals without guilt. So I personally, I used to, so I still, I'm currently on a plateau break. So I still like weigh my food during the week to reach specific macro counts. So like I'm trying to be under a certain protein intake. I'm trying to be over a certain, yada, yada, yada. And I need to make sure that my carb intake is low. However, I don't really pay attention to my carb intake anymore because I don't eat, I know in my head what 20 carbs, 20 grams of carbohydrates looks like in a day because I've been keto for like 5 years. But, normally, like when I'm just maintaining. I don't really weigh my food or count my calories or count my carbs anymore because I just know what it looks like. I think that it's important for you if you are on or if you're wanting to like get healthy and lose weight. I don't think it's a bad thing for you to like count your calories or like weigh your food or count your your carb intake. Eventually you won't have to do that anymore and you can just know what, you know, you don't need the numbers. You can just like know, hey, this is within my limits. You plan your food for 2 weeks and you know that every single meal that you've planned is or every single day that you've planned is under your caloric intake or your carbohydrate intake. Um, then you're set for life. You've got 2 weeks worth of food that you can just like, jumble and mumble and rearrange so that you have variety, but you don't need to like measure your food forever. I don't, my belief.
You really had me out here thinking I was mid.
Call me a limited edition because this level of sexy is exclusive, fat, fine, and feeling myself.
Like I wasn't that gas, like I wasn't that fire, like I wasn't that za. Are you crazy?
If I give it to her, she does have a cute face sometimes.
Well, let me reintroduce.
Maybe because we're like evolutionarily designed to think that round things are cute, like baby.
Introduce myself.
He's so.
Oh my god, you know who that reminds me?
I would like to say.
Okay. Dear Gwen Shamblin, while Alyssa might empathize with you and recognize your humanity somewhere under all that hair, Reba don't give a fuck. Have the eternity you deserve, babe. So I guess Gwen Shamblin died. I don't know who that is. The Weight of a Legacy. Watch Gwen Shamblin, The Weight of a Legacy on YouTube now or listen wherever you get your podcasts. Who is Gwen Shamblin? Oh, that is the diet, the eat like Jesus lady who died in a plane crash. That's wild. Wild.
That's my favorite movie.
You've Got Mail. You've Got Mail with Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks.
The first time I watched You've Got Mail was last year. I had never seen it.
I love you're explaining it to us.
Listen, have you watched?
Also, the way it ended was, first of all, this guy was like catfishing her. If you haven't seen it, sorry, spoilers. But he's basically catfishing her, and like, they hate each other because I think he owns a book. I can't believe I remember this. He owns a big book company like Barnes and Noble, and I guess when Barnes and Noble first, it's not Barnes and Noble in the movie, but I guess when Barnes and Noble first opened up, they like were taking over small bookstores, and she owned a small bookstore. Anyway, he hated her, and then at the end, they were emailing each other, blah 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 blah. And he was pretending, I think, to be somebody else, and they finally meet, and it's him, and she still falls in love with him, and I'm just like, I would be pissed. I'd be like, this is disturbed. Would I be pissed though? I mean, if they were, I mean, they probably in real life, you're probably talking more intimately, expressing more deep secrets. Would you fall in love? Chat? Would you fall in love with somebody who did that to you? Go watch You've Got Mail and come back here and tell me if you think that that's messed up. Apparently it was appropriate for the 90s. I'm still traumatized by it.
You've Got Mail? No.
Oh my god.
Set in New York.
Oh,
The fall scenes, and it's so freaking wholesome.
wholesome. He's lying to her.
It's wholesome and big corporate, but wholesome.
I was not expecting that.
I've loved it since I was a kid.
What a little lover girly.
I
Cute.
know.
Okay.
And Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt is a good one.
Rebecca, favorite movie.
That's funny. My favorite movie, everybody, is What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams and Cuba Gooding Jr. And it is the greatest love story ever. So if you are not a fan of Dying for Your Love, you probably won't like this. But if you guys remember in the Canterbury Tales, well, is it Canterbury Tales? No, I'm so wrong. Dante's Inferno by Alighieri, I think that's what his name is. So in What Dreams May Come, it is basically like a modern rendition of Dante's Inferno, the greatest love story of all time. I guarantee you will ugly cry, especially if you've got trauma. So I love it. It's my absolute favorite movie. All right, last one. I probably said that already. Last one. Let's look.
I think to get us started with love,
Oh, this is how they started their podcast. They were in a dining room, and let's see here. Sorry, I gotta show you. They were in a dining room on just like a dining room table. All of them, I think, sharing one mic.
I would say like I am like your generic like I love my husband. Like
I love that for you.
What does that feel like?
And how does that make you feel?
Oh, they used to be called Fab Fatties. Let's check that out. Oh, I'm gonna have to do another episode on the lore of what happened to their fourth fatty.
it's
It's the feeling of wanting to never see someone again and also can't living a day without them at the same exact time. I knew I was in love when me and Billy were able to go like head to head in like a full out brawl and then everything be okay after it. Yes. I was like, oh, this is it for the long haul.
That is actually like a great way to. I actually agree. I feel like that was one of the things too with me and my husband is like when you can have a fight and then like, the fight's over and you're just back to being normal. Or like my husband and I even sometimes will just be like, do you want to fight right now? Like, let's just get this out of the way, But yeah, anyway, that is my critique and commentary on the Fab Fatties. I think I need to do a second episode because I didn't know that they used to be 4. So I will have to do a follow-up on that. If you guys like that, please leave a comment. Again, what do you guys think that Alyssa's sign is, or Allie, I think that's her name. Allie. Let's see. Alyssa, Allie. What is her sign, you guys? Let's take another look. I personally think that she's definitely a fire sign. She's the youngest out of the 3. And I kind of think that she is an Aries only because I'm an Aries and I'm pretty like fiery and fierce like she is. And also I'm a ham and she's clearly she appears to be the leader of the show. In my opinion, that's who I see. And she's also like maybe the most controversial. But anyway, I hope you guys liked it. Please leave a comment. Share if you can. And let me know in the comments, her sign. What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite love movie? And then also if you're a Twilight fan. All right. Bye. Thank you.